Today is Tuesday, August 12th.
I'm Jeff Zayas from Napa, California.
And I'm Robert Taylor in New Orleans, Louisiana.
And we lost Duke Carrico.
I can't believe we lost Duke right on the start. He must have been on that rocket ship when it took off.
Exactly. What happened to him, huh? He's having problems. You know, he's not going to be able to come back in either, probably. You know, I don't think I have Duke's phone number to actually call him.
I don't know if I do either.
That's kind of interesting.
Nope. Welcome back to Carrico from Kingsport, Tennessee.
Hey, guys. Hey, man, right when I pushed the go button, all of a sudden I noticed everything slowing down. I looked over here and I'll be doggone if my cable modem wasn't.
Today is Tuesday, August
It was
12th.
blinking. What's that, man? Where's that coming from?
Robert Taylor.
Oh, goodness.
Hey, I'm Duke Carrico, and on this
It'll
edition
probably
of
take me
Tech
forever to
Talk
find that
Journal,
one.
Verizon continues trying to rid themselves of hogs.
Yeah, man. And I've got something going on here somewhere.
Man,
Trying to kill it, trying to kill it, trying to kill it.
you think maybe we just start another room?
Android all of a sudden. And I don't even see it. I'm sorry, guys.
Dropping out.
You got a tab open, perhaps? I wonder if we're still live.
It says we are.
Wow.
I believe I found it there. I apologize, guys. Hey, let's start over.
Okay.
Hey, today is August the 12th.
I'm Jeff Zayas from Napa, California.
And I'm Robert Taylor from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Hey, I'm losing my mind. Hey, guys, how's everybody this evening? Welcome to episode 68. It's off to a rocky start.
Rough.
We just realized we don't have your phone number. In case there was a problem, we wouldn't be able to call you. So later on, we got to get it.
All right, man.
I have to stop relying on Google so much.
Exactly.
I need to contact you the old-fashioned way.
Google and I aren't getting along very well here lately. I've got to say, man, I've been having some problems with Hangouts and Google Chrome. In fact, coming to you right now in Firefox, if that tells you anything at all.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So, hey, guys, I have no lie to tell you. The last few weeks, the news cycle has really been in a slump. Oh, and I've tried my best to come up with some good topics for us to discuss, but things are starting to pick back up again in the world of Android. We're starting to see a lot of new devices. We're kind of past the rumor stage, and there's a lot going on, but I really wanted to open the show tonight with something that, Robert, you weren't here last week. You kind of missed it, but this continues to be in the news, and I pulled it back in. And basically, Verizon is trying its best to rid themselves of these data hogs like yourself and myself, okay? And there's been a lot said back and forth, and I'm just going to throw it over to you and give you a chance to vent, man.
Well, I got to tell you, I was mortified to miss the show last week. Other obligations kept me busy, but the number one topic, and this is hot on my mind, is Verizon and what Verizon is doing to the unlimited data customers and the steps that they're going through to push these people and I say these people, I'm one of those people, completely out of their network. And the thing that just really amazed me, and when I watched the show later on that night when I was free, something you guys didn't mention was the amount of data that you use that Verizon considers you to be a data hog. And it was 4.7 gigs. Y'all did say that, but the point that y'all didn't mention is Verizon is pushing 10 gigs for $160. And those folks are not going to be subjected to this network optimization. So it just amazes me how Verizon's talking out of both sides of their mouth. Anybody who uses more than 4.7 gigs of data is hogging all the bandwidth and making it difficult for our other customers. But yet on the other side of the coin, they're jumping up and saying, hey, get on with our $160 10 gigs a month plan. It's great. It's wonderful. Those folks are not going to be subject to the network optimization. And I am just shocked that the FCC and other government entities are allowing them to get away with that. You set the bar and say it's 4.7 gigs, but yet you're letting other people have 10 gigs and you're saying that those folks aren't a problem. As a matter of fact, the numbers and statistics show that they have more people that are paying for those 10 gig plans than the people that they have on unlimited data. So really, who's causing the problem here? Who's causing the congestion? And honestly, I don't think there's a straight, easy answer to that. I really do believe that Verizon is simply saying, we want more money, and this is a way to make more money. It's not about network optimization.
I found an interesting stat here in this article from Android Authority, and they're saying that according to a SERP report, that just 22% of Verizon users remain on grandfathered unlimited plans, and this is compared to 44% for AT&T and 78% for both Sprint and T-Mobile. Okay, so I'm telling you, Verizon is definitely coming across here looking greedy. And what do you think of the FCC Chair Wheeler's remarks back to Verizon when he replied back to him when they were him the first time?
Well, I got to tell you, I did link the article, Wheeler's response to Verizon's response to the inquiry. And basically, he says it's BS. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. It is what it is. It is a money grab trying to push unlimited customers into more expensive plans. I don't care how you slice it, how you dice it. If you go to Verizon, and trust me, I have gone, I've talked to them on the phone, I've been in their stores. No matter how you do it, it is almost impossible to reduce your bill with an unlimited plan. You cannot do it. You will end up spending more money if you have more than one phone. I do. I have a couple of phones on my plan. No matter how you slice it up, I'm going to spend more money. And Wheeler calls it like it is. He says it appears to be a money grab, that what Verizon has offered up as an explanation of why they're doing this or why they need to do this carries no weight at all. The interesting thing about it is the FCC has been, let's say, less than diligent in following through with stuff like this. I worry that, while it's all coming out, they ruffle their feathers and they talk big, but in the end, do they do anything about it? Will they stop Verizon from actually making this network optimization thing, which singles out grandfathered unlimited customers? Will they back down?
Jeff, jump in here, man.
Well, I just have to say that I think Verizon is doing the money grab. The FCC is not going to do anything about it. It's just, all for show, and eventually they'll end up losing some customers to other plans. And I am like Robert. I am not a data hog, okay, but I do have an unlimited plan, and that unlimited plan is what keeps me in the Verizon world, right? So now when I start looking at new phones, and like the LG L3 phone, which looks really nice, right? I might go to T-Mobile now and just do the $24 a month thing, and reduce my bill, do a family share plan, and I'll get a new phone. It won't cost me any money, and I'll be paying less than what I'm paying now. And that's probably what's going to happen once that takes place. So my only fear is I am so I hate to say it, I am pleased with Verizon as a carrier. I always get coverage. I go wherever I go, I always can connect. There's not that many dead spots for me on the West Coast. Most major metropolitan areas are well covered, and even rural areas seem to be better covered than any other carrier. So it's like a catch-22, but my phone's slowly, going away, so I'll probably go to a different carrier because I'm just going to do that.
I think you do make a very good point, Jeff. Verizon does have a great network, but the reason why that's one of the reasons why. The other reason why they kept a good user base is because of the unlimited plans. And if they're attacking this user base, these so-called data hogs, then they're going to, what you said, they're going to say, hey, you know what?
Oh.
Those T-Mobile plans are they're a good third less for 2 lines is what I'm paying for Verizon already. Verizon is the most expensive network. We all know that. The reason, but part of the reasons why we don't care is they've been a great, reliable network to this point.
Well, yeah, definitely. When you value the service, and that's the thing, I will pay for premium service, and I get that through Verizon. I, like Jeff, got great coverage, okay? However, the majority of time, I am using my phone in my home. And the interesting thing about that is I do not have Verizon coverage in my home.
Yeah,
I do not. I do not have Verizon coverage. How do I have service in my home? I had to buy and get a femtocell so that I could have a small Verizon network inside my home. It was the only way. But their coverage was so good that when I travel and when I'm other places, I will pick Verizon, I will use Verizon, and I will pay more for Verizon as long as that service makes sense. The minute you start cutting me off at the knees and saying that I am going to get less service than what I can get from another carrier, then it is time for me to walk away.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that when I was doing a lot of the RV travel thing, I ran into a lot of people that were they're living out of their RVs, right? And
yes.
what they do, a lot of these guys do, is they have one service on one carrier and another service on another carrier. So they can just overlap, and they're always going to be usually it's like Sprint and Verizon, where it seems to be the combination that these people have always used, which is kind of interesting. But I don't know why I said that, but it just, I do like Verizon, but I don't like the idea of being used or taken advantage of, and I'm starting to look at other networks, and that's a shame because I do like these guys, and once my mom gets here, I'm probably going to move over to T-Mobile, and give them a shot. Why not? And I might even like it, even better for where I'm at.
There have been lots of folks who, just like us, Jeff, this is the final straw. This is where we're going to draw the line in the sand. And if you're going to do a money grab, you're going to have a money loss because we're going to walk away and we're going to take our dollars someplace else. And not only is T-Mobile or AT&T or whoever you choose to go with, going to offer you the same kind of data plan where it's metered and to some limit and all of that, you're going to be spending less money, which means I can buy more data from them on a metered plan than what I would be able to get from Verizon on their current metered plans.
Right.
So instead of getting a money grab, it's going to be a money loss.
You know, but the interesting thing is, you know, it's going to only be like $20 a month difference, right? Approximately. So you go, you know,
$20 a month, Jeff, is 4 gigs of data. That's a lot.
Yeah. That's true. But you know what I'm saying, though, right? It's not a big whoopee. I mean, it's really not a big monetary piece. It's just the ethical part that they just kind of, they're beating you over. It's like you're being beaten with a bag of oranges, and you're going, okay, I'm gonna stop this. You know, even though it's not killing me, I'm just getting bruised, and I want to stop.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. Hey, good conversation, but I'm going to push this on here. Hey guys, Acer is unveiling yet another 3 Chromebooks. Okay.
Holy moly.
Uh-oh.
For C720s in what, 4 different models now? You know,
Yeah.
I say models. You've got a touch screen. You've got Haswell Celeron with 2 gigs.
Or 4
A Haswell Celeron with 4 gigs. Now you've got the i3 with 2 and 4 gigs. And now they are including 3 different models with a 13.3-inch display using an NVIDIA Tegra K1 processor. All right. Let's just run down some stats here. One of them is going to include a 1920 by 1080 display, 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gig hard drive for $300. The other one is going to be the same configuration except 4 gigs of RAM and a 32 gigabyte solid state drive for $379.99. And then they've got one that's it's still 13.3 inch, but it's a 1366 by 768 display, 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigabyte hard drive, $280. Hey guys, I think that these things, first of all, let me share my screen here. I think this is actually a pretty nice looking little Chromebook. It's white. It's got black keys, and that display. You know, a lot of people have been begging for a better display on a Chromebook, and here it is now. Okay, so hey Jeff.
Yeah.
I know. I don't think you're in the market for a new Chromebook, but what do you think, man?
Well, you know, I gotta say, Acer is definitely acing the market when it comes to Chromebooks. I mean, and the price point is pretty damn good. You know, I think I paid $249 for my 720 with the 4 gig, right? But you know, for a 1920 by 1080 display, right, with basically a processor which is twice as fast, a bigger display, right, and almost 13 hours of battery life and no fan. So virtually, you know, it's just pretty good. So if I were to get one, I would be looking at the 2 gigs for $299. You know, that's a good price point. It's still in that nice sweet spot, under $300. You know, it's going to be able to run multiple tabs very easily. A lot of graphic intensive stuff. So I think it's another coup for Acer, and I like the build quality of my Acer. I have no problems with it. I really like it. So I think they're just making strides, and they're going to continue to make strides in the educational market as well, because these things are just going to be wonderful for, you know, video display and things like that for you know, education, and it's just going to be perfect. It's a great move. Great.
Hey, Robert, Gardner has recently reported, well, I say recently, August the 11th is when this article was written. Hey, the PC's dying, and it says Chromebook sales are going to shoot up. They're saying that Chromebook sales are going to hit 14.2 1.4 million units by 2017, and that's tripling its current market size. I listen. Everybody in Tech and Coffee has a Chromebook. I say everybody. Most of the regulars have a Chromebook. Right. They speak very highly of them, but let's admit it. For most of us, it's our second machine. Okay, it's not our primary machine. I will have to say, mine's.
Well, he's doing this live hangout from his Chromebook.
No, not quite, But weigh in here, Robert. I mean, is the Chromebook the future of the laptop?
We can't predict that because we don't know what Google is going to do with Android and Chrome OS. If we see a marriage of this, we could definitely see a platform that's going to be stellar in performance and use. If not, if this is going to hold off for a while, then I think the Chromebooks, while they will sell because they're popular, a lot will happen just like the tablets. The tablets had, meteorized in popularity, and they sold like hotcakes. However, people tried in the beginning to say, oh, I can replace my laptop with a tablet. You can't do that. And you can't do that with a Chromebook as it stands right now. Give it greater functionality by marrying Chrome OS with Android and give Android apps a shot on the Chromebook. That might be a different story. Then we could really see this make a huge, huge impact on PCs. For now, it is still a secondary computer that is going to be slightly more than a media consumption device. But there's some really significant lacking features.
Okay, and here again, I think what you were saying is you were talking about the integration of Android and Chrome together.
Correct.
Okay, and I agree with you, and I think that's more where touchscreens might come into play. On down the line, I think it's going to be very important for a Chromebook to have touchscreen. If we're going to see true integration of Android apps. And the problem with that is right now, like with the Acer, that adds about $100 to the price of that machine. Mm-hmm. Okay, just for the ability of touch. And see, that concerns me too, Robert, because when you start adding touch to the Chrome OS and to differentiate yourself from all of these other Chromebook manufacturers who are flooding the market now, you start adding all of these features, and that adds costs, and the next thing you know, you're looking at a $450 Chromebook, and what does that buy you with a Windows machine? Then you're in that dilemma. Okay?
Yeah, you're approaching that, and then you don't know what Windows 9 is going to be about and how much the cost of that. They might just give that away free now, or have a light edition that's free and drive down the costs even more. But I'm gonna disagree with both of you. I'm just not gonna pick on Robert. I'm gonna disagree with both. I think that the Chromebook as it stands today is I would say I use my Chromebook more than I use my desktop.
Yes,
I would definitely do it. I'm not working, right? I mean, I'm a worker, so I'm not like doing the Chromebook for business. But if you wanted to talk about time spent, right? Just time spent, I'm gonna say my Chromebook is my primary device.
Okay, stop.
And hold on, let me finish. And my desktop is my work device, but my primary device that I spend more time on, physical time on, is my Chromebook.
And all that means, Jeff, is that you have more time to waste than the rest of us.
No. No.
That means.
Yeah. No. How many people here watch TV and browse the internet at the same time?
Jeff, I did say that I spent more time on my Chromebook than I did my Windows machine.
But
I'm
who listens to
saying
you?
that.
We don't listen to you.
Obviously, you don't. Yeah.
No, but you know how many? I mean, does I mean I'm guilty. I'm watching TV and I'm browsing the internet. I'm checking things out at the same time. How am I doing that? I'm doing it on my Chromebook.
Sure.
If I see something on TV or on a show and I go, you know, who was that? What was he in it before? I'm on this thing. In a second, I turn it on. I open the lid, and in like 40 seconds, I have the answer. Right? I will never get that. Well, I should say never. But you know, even if I had a Windows, laptop that has Instant On, which I don't think it does have Instant On like this thing does, I would not be able to do it with such speed and elegance. So.
Right. Is the Chromebook choices, Robert? Are we starting to see a? I'm not talking about a saturation with the amount. I guess what am I trying to say here? What my concern is we have a lot of Chromebooks from a lot of different manufacturers. Is that a problem at this point, or is this a good thing?
I don't know. When you come down to it, when you walk into Best Buy or wherever, and how many different laptops are you going to see? There are dozens and dozens with all different feature sets and capabilities, and so we are starting to see that happen with Chromebooks, which are great because some people are willing to pay the extra money for the bigger or better screen. Some people want the larger hard drive. Some people want the extra memory. Some folks, like Jeff, just sit on their couch and watch TV all day long and don't need all that.
But I would not use Duke. I would not use the word saturation. I would use the word maturation, where it's maturing as a device. It's getting better. It's getting more involved, and I think that's coming to, that's what's happening. And I think Acer is doing that, and other manufacturers are doing that.
Well, Acer recently just overtook Samsung in the last quarter. They're starting to move more than Samsung was moving. Hey, real quick here, Bruce Turner just says that he agrees with Jeff, and I'm blocking him too.
Of course, he's not on the show tonight, so
I've made this prediction in the past. I want to reiterate it. I really think, guys, that come the holiday season, we're going to see some deals on some Chromebooks. Microsoft's going to be in the game by then with some sort of a low-cost internet-type Windows machine. And I really think that we're going to see some price cuts, maybe some other offers. And real quick, Gartner's just saying that basically we're going to see a huge bump in enterprise demand, and we're talking about banking, financial services, real estate. All of this stuff is pretty much done in the cloud already, and Chromebooks are going to fit good in these type of spaces.
I just want to say,
not agree.
Yes, I would agree. Let me say one quick thing about Microsoft. They're making a big push, big push. I'm seeing a lot more Cortana commercials on TV and how they're going to put Cortana on the PC, and they're really going in that. They're really going after it, I think. So which is good for the marketplace.
Yes, that definitely. Microsoft needs to step up their game and answer, because the Screwball campaign, as we've said many times, did not work. It had the exact opposite. In the end, I don't think it's a Chromebook that's going to be the enterprise demand. The enterprise is not interested in truly mobile completely. The Chrome box, however, story. While for all intents and purposes they're basically the same machine, what an enterprise wants is a lightweight, capable device that is affordable and easily trained upon. And Chrome definitely offers that.
An enterprise wants seamless communication between their business. So it's going to be based on whatever business, like a healthcare industry, whatever business app is ported over to whatever is going to allow them to put it on a tablet, whatever they do, or a Chromebook or whatever. So it's going to be the application is going to drive the business. So, and then as I think developers and companies see the Chromebook rising, they're going to start writing to the Chrome OS and have better applications that might be able to work.
Well, here's what I think's happening right now. I think we're right here at this point to where people are buying Chromebooks, and instead of saying it can't do this good and it can't do that good, they're saying, wow, this thing boots fast. It's got a great battery life. I don't have to worry about installing antivirus. Google updates it for me. And they start to realize all the benefits, and it's not the negatives that keep people using Chromebooks. It's all of these positives, okay?
Right.
And I think that Chrome OS right now has a momentum that I don't see an end to it anytime soon. I really don't, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm moving on. We were talking about all the Chromebooks that are suddenly on the market, with all of these different configurations. Man, Samsung, they never let up. And even though I heard that they're going to be cutting back today because of their very poor quarterly earnings here just recently announced, they've got this Galaxy Alpha. This is one that's been leaking for a while. Guys, I have avoided talking about it here on this show, but it looks like this thing was spotted at a Samsung Russia event. It's got an all-metal back, and Jeff, you're kind of in the market. You've been talking about maybe it's time to give that Droid Max up. It sounds like you're in here.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely looking around, but I wouldn't want anything that only has that's super. I'm with Robert. It's about the battery life. It's about a removable battery, and this thing has an
1850
milliamp battery. I don't know about you, but if I have my tracks with GPS sucking my battery life out of me because I'm doing a hike or whatever's going on, that's not going to last. So I don't care if it does have like a heart rate monitor, but sensor and all this stuff, because it's just not going to have the battery life to sustain all the things you want to do and what you expect from a smartphone. In my instance, so I'm looking at the LG L3 or something with removable batteries, bigger battery life. I don't care if it's super thin. It's going to be bulging out of my pocket anyways, right? So, no, I'm not going to get an Alpha.
All right. Wait just a minute, Robert. I've got to challenge him. He said it twice now. I was going to let it slide. Jeff, can you screen share a picture of the LG L3? I want to see it.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I have the name wrong there, but let me look. It's LG what?
G3.
G3. Okay. And I looked at the phone as my face turns red. But I looked at the phone at the I was in a mall. I was checking out. It's a nice looking phone, man.
Well, Dennis DeVoe couldn't be with us tonight. He's sick. He sent me a note earlier, but
I think we lost Duke again there. It's got to be his internet connection's a little flaky.
Did you not hear me?
No.
Oh, Dennis gave up his Nexus 5 for a G3.
Wow.
I don't blame him. I would have done it too. I've played with the phone in real life, and the G2 and the G3 are both phenomenal phones. I'm shocked at how good the quality of those phones are. And we had said, I would have thought the next big winner would have come out of HTC, and here it is. LG came out of nowhere and has just swooned me unbelievably with the G3.
Plus, they had that nice shooting camera app that's laser guided or whatever, right. Focusing.
Focus, yep.
Yeah.
That's just without.
So would you consider the Alpha based on this article?
No. There's nothing in this that wows me to a point that I would say, oh yeah, I gotta have. No way. Nothing here.
So you think Samsung was just doing the I'm going to throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks kind of marketing approach to building stuff now?
I think if Samsung was smart, they would have included a metal back on the S5. Okay, instead of coming out with yet another phone. Okay, yeah, I mean that's just my opinion. I think Samsung's starting to realize that too. It's why they're hurting. I mean, guys, they're releasing a new tablet about every other month. And it sounds like that I'm being sarcastically. Maybe that's not exactly. That's what it feels like. Every other month, they've got a new tablet of some kind.
Yeah.
I just think that they're overdoing it, and I would love to see them concentrate. I'm sorry, a lot of people fusses about Samsung Sense. I think Samsung's pretty imaginative with their software. Granted, I think a lot of it is gimmicky. I don't think it's something that I would be interested in, but at the same time, I think it's cool. Okay. With that said, I've been wanting them to concentrate on hardware for a long time. I mean, HTC, man, knows how to build a phone. And I'd like to see Samsung.
So is it?
And maybe if I was a woman, maybe I could get one of those Oneplus One phones. What do you think, Jeff?
I don't think you can. I think they already closed down the program due to popular demand.
So
They shut it down.
So here's the story. OnePlus One wanted to do another contest, so they basically wanted to. They called it the Meet the Ladies First contest, an all-women affair where you don't even have a chance to win an invite if you don't have the correct chromosomes. Hey, you draw a OnePlus One logo on a piece of paper or on your hand, face, whatever. Take a photo of yourself with the logo clearly visible. Post the photo in this thread. And this goes without saying, no nudes. 150 ladies are poised to win. Okay? So right here was the first response they got from a lady, guys. She drew the OnePlus logo on one hand and don't be sexist on the other, and with a couple of little gestures there. Guys, according to CNET, this contest has been pulled, and OnePlus basically says this was done in very poor taste.
You think?
So let me see. We're going to go through our entire advertising and promotions vetting process to within, hours come back and say it was very poor taste.
I think they were. I'm going to say this. They were. They probably went to all these Republican senators. These old white guys in a room smoking a cigar, going, "Yeah, that's a great idea."
Here's what I think, Jeff. As a Republican, I think it is a great idea. After all, here we are, the three of us, talking about this tonight. Yes, it's negative, but it's just more to generate buzz around this phone. This time a year ago, this OnePlus company was not really a company, okay? And now, hey, everybody in the tech world is talking about them.
And just because we talk about something doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. We talked about Verizon 2 weeks in a row, so I'm not going to use
But if you look at the stats on this phone, Jeff, and here again, this is creating buzz. And just like I said, it might not be positive buzz, but it's still buzz.
But okay, it is buzz. But now, what happens if you are we don't have any female panelists, because I guess we don't. But maybe they cut out a whole segment of the marketplace that's not going to buy the phone based on this whole idea. So maybe it wasn't. You know, you don't know. I mean, I don't know what the backlash is going to be.
Since you brought up politics, let's try this. Chick-fil-A's CEO said something that offended a lot of gays. What happened with that? The gays rose up, and what happened with that, Jeff?
They decided they had to make better coffee with their thing. So that's what happened. They decided to have better coffee in the stores.
They made more money than they ever did because everybody in the news was talking about it, bringing to attention to them, and they had their best quarter ever.
Mm-hmm. That happens. That stuff happens. But then the opposite happens too, right? There's boycotts that cause companies go out of business.
Boycotted. Chick-fil-A was boycotted.
No. What's her name? What was the Paula Dern? Paula, this food person?
Right.
Yeah. Her whole world came crashing down. There's an example where they boycott. She said something that was quote unquote not politically correct, and she paid dearly for it. So it worked. That sword cuts both ways. You just don't know which way it's going to help.
See, that only applied with fried chicken, Jeff. That had nothing to do with tech.
No, but you know what I'm saying, though, right? You agree?
I do agree, Jeff.
All
I
right.
just give you a hard time, man.
I know you are, because you are a Republican. You just can't accept facts.
Oh yeah, okay. All right, man. Hey, let's do this right here. Hey, gang, listen. We are Tech and Coffee. We are a daily hangout, and we would love to have you come and check us out. Go to techandcoffee.info, and you'll see a link on joining the hangout. We've got some rules. Just look them over and bring your favorite beverage with you, and come hang out with us. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Tech and Coffee 1. Our YouTube channel is Tech and Coffee. Hey, search for us on Google Plus. Search for Tech and Coffee. When you see that TNC logo, hey, join us. We'd love to have you follow us. You can catch our podcast on Stitcher Radio and iTunes. And questions, comments, snide remarks, send them to AJ at techandcoffee.info. All right, hey guys, let's move on into the apps here, man. Jeff, you got an app tonight?
I do have an app tonight, but you don't want to talk about the Chromecast thing at all, or no?
No, I thought we'd just move on here, man.
All right, well, now I'm going to have to set this up a little bit. So my app is it's a revisited app. It is EFS file. Where is it here on my manager? I gotta find it. Here we go. Let's go to this shot here, and this is EFS File Manager. It has about 900 and some odd thousand downloads. But the reason why I am picking this is because of two things. One is they now support OTG USB connection, which is great because before I had to use Media Explorer to look at what I have on here, and now I have the ability of seeing my card. If I can show it here. Of course, now it's not going to show it, right? Let's see. There it is. No, it's not. Let's plug it back in. Now it's going to go to my Media Explorer. I don't care about that. It is not showing my card. Of course not, it's not working. Which is bad.
I bet that'll run on a LG L3.
Oh, where is it? Before it was showing it. What is going on? Well, it's not working now. It shows that it's not up.
Robert, let's jump on over to you, man, and we'll give Jeff a chance to redeem himself.
Don't let me redeem myself. Let me just explain the reason why I went for this thing. Is that I had to find I tried to install XBMC again on my Nexus 10, and it's not installing. and went on and looked on the internet, and you had to find all the old XBMC files to get it to work, which EFS has a great search feature to find any kind of file that you name it, and then I noticed it was able to see the USB card, which was great, and now it's not working. All right, that's it. Go back to Robert.
Poor Jeff.
Yeah, I know, man.
We pick on him so.
I deserve it, though. I deserve to be picked on.
Well, my app today is an app, sort of. I have the Nexus 7, and a lot of folks see us when we're doing demos of our apps. We use an application called AirDroid, and AirDroid works only with rooted devices. So I was going to take my tablet, and it was time to do a factory reset, clean it up, get it all cleaned up, and then I thought, I really need to root my Nexus 7 so I can do AirDroid, and I began to research how to root the Nexus 7. Turns out it's fairly easy, but it does have a locked bootloader. And there is a utility out there that makes unlocking the bootloader and rooting the Nexus 7 a simple task. So while I can't demonstrate for you how to actually root, it's kind of an involved process, but with this utility, it's a few easy steps. Let me share my screen, because where you go is to a website that is called Wugfresh, WUGFRESH.com, and he has a little utility called the Nexus Root Toolkit. Right now it's version 1.8.6, and I downloaded this utility, I ran through it, and in less than 10 minutes, I not only had the bootloader unlocked, my tablet was rooted, and I was ready to begin with a fresh tablet. It was something I needed to do anyway, so this just made the rooting of my Nexus 7 tablet easier. If you would like to see the true power of Android, a rooted device is definitely the way to go. This makes it very simple for the Nexus 4, 5, and 7. I believe it even works for the 10, but I'm not positive, Jeff. And it works great. Flawless execution. There's just a few steps involved, and in just a few minutes, you have a clean, rooted device. One thing I will say, that if you do this, if you use this utility, it will wipe the tablet out completely. So make sure that you've backed up any data before you root and unlock your bootloader. And so that is my suggestion, not necessarily an app for tonight, but my suggestion. If you have a Nexus, this is the way to root it.
Excellent.
All right.
I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to jump back in, because guess what? I did find out where I had this located. So it's under local, and then you're able to see your USB storage using your OTG cable, and you can see all the instances that I have a XBMC trying to install it on my tablet. So let's go ahead and try to install XBMC. Here it goes. It's going to try to install it, and this is the error that I get all the time now. Install. And I have wiped out every single instance of XBMC on my Nexus 10, including any hidden files using EFS File Manager. And it looks like it wants to install. It looks like it's going to do its thing, and then you'll see, basically in a second, app not installed. Isn't that horrible? But anyways.
That's strange.
That is strange, but I just want to say that EFS File Manager is free and now supports OTG now.
Wonderful.
And I use that. I use that myself, Jeff. It's a very good file manager. All right, guys. My app this week is Secret. Okay. Now, what is Secret? Well, we've heard it. It actually went to iOS first. And a lot of, I guess, stories that started as rumors started on the Secret platform. And this app has been featured in the New York Times, Wired, BBC, The Guardian, several more. And I broke down here a while back and I installed it. It's got a 3.8 review. It's been reviewed over 29,000 times now. And I'll tell you what, I am not going to share my phone with you, but I installed this a little bit. It's been, I probably had it on 3 weeks now, and just going to read some of the secrets that are in my stream. Basically, it doesn't tell me who's following me. I send out invites to my friends, and it tells me when, my friends are following me, but I don't know who they are. And it also gives me friend of friends. Here's one. Keep watching Game of Thrones and still have no idea why. It's not good. It's just well made.
Winter is coming.
Okay. Let's see here. Work thinks that England once had 4 presidents. The IRS lost 2 years worth of emails. So will this be an acceptable excuse the next time I'm audited?
Yeah, try to explain to them you lost a receipt.
I was going to, Robert said something about losing the receipt, but, a lot of the reporters, and Mike Elgin himself on Twit use Secret on the iOS device, and they're able to get, some tips and things that are going on in Silicon Valley. I don't know how how you can subscribe to the Silicon Valley stream.
Well, it's the deal is if you're already friends with them on other social networks,
mm-hmm.
there's a good chance you're going to be friends with them on Secret. So you can't see, like I say, you don't know who's posting this stuff. You don't know if it's real or, but guys, I'm really enjoying this app, right? It's really a fun app. It's free. Go check it out. It's not going to do you any good till you get some friends following you. But check it out, Secret. It's a pretty cool little app.
Can you subscribe to other people's streams?
Yes.
You can say it. Okay, so you'd have to find one that's like, whatever, right?
I'm trying to. Right here's one that was posted, and I clicked on it, and I can share it, I can subscribe it, I can flag it, or I can remove it from my view.
Got it. So if you knew someone who was kind of in the know and had the right kind of, let's say, Samsung Galaxy thread or something like that, you could find it and subscribe to it and find out about the phone. Pre-release information.
You not necessarily. I mean, people are just posting them random stuff, okay? But yes, if you find someone that you're enjoying, you can to their to their post. Absolutely. All right. Hey guys, we got one more thing to cover here, man. And I've deleted it. Just a second. Going into what I like to call our
grab bag.
Yes. Goodness, this has just been an off night, guys. I apologize. Hey, man, our grab bag. And last week, when episode 67 went up, we had a guy who commented to us. He said, love the podcast, but everyone I listen to here misstates information, mostly by 2 people. Google and others are required by law to reveal information to authorities pertaining to crimes involving children. This is from Brett Johnson. Hey, Brett, first of all, thank you very much. Glad you enjoy the podcast. And you know what? I am probably the most guilty one of all the panel on here for misstating information. I have asked everyone who comes on here to have an opinion. I hope it's an informed one, but I just want them to have an opinion about the topic. And, sometimes we get things wrong. just like real reporters on MSNBC and Fox get things wrong. So apologize for that. As far as to your comment about Google specifically, absolutely. They are required by law to report those crimes. I'm sure that's not the first time that someone has been reported by Google, Yahoo, Microsoft, or others. It was the first one we were aware of, and I guess I am probably the most responsible for trying to take that topic beyond kiddie porn to politics. And I know that was a stretch, but I guess that's where I was trying to get to it, is what gives Google the right to report what they deem something as inappropriate. And absolutely, child pornography definitely is inappropriate. And I think we all agreed that night that no one had a problem with Google reporting that scum. Okay? So, man, appreciate the response, and glad you enjoy the podcast, Brett. And hey, guys, do we have anything else before I call this a completed episode 68? That was a disaster from start to finish.
You just had some internet connection issues, I think, going on. And, obviously, I do believe that the L3 phone is going to be great.
If he had an L3, he wouldn't have had these problems, Jeff.
Exactly.
Jeff, just between me and you, I think I'm going to hold out for the L4.
L4, definitely hold out for L4.
It's going to have a bigger screen.
Because it's going to be running the Android L operating system.
Hey, gang. Hey, really, really quick. Hey, come hang out with us over at techandcoffee.info. Questions, comments, and snide remarks. AJ at techandcoffee.info. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Peace out, guys. Have a great week. Later.